So I'm watching ZeroZeroZero on Amazon, and it's a great show. I'm not going to reveal too much about the plot, but it's basically three storylines. One is a drug cartel, these two brothers, drug traffickers in Mexico, based in Monterrey, by the name of the Leyva brothers. I mean, to me, it sounds like they took some inspiration from the beltran-leyva, because those guys were active apparently they're still very active in Monterrey. So I mean, maybe it could be based on them, maybe they just liked the name and changed it up a bit, but I mean, whatever. So the other storyline is a family-owned international shipping company, and they're basically the brokers, not brokers, I guess, but the people in charge of actually shipping from point A to point B. Point B would be the other storyline, which involves the Ingrata. So so the point B that I'm referring to involves the other storyline, which is the buyers. The Ndrangheta mafia, organized criminal group of Calabria in Italy. These guys in story, they buy a huge shipment of cocaine from the Leyva brothers. And so the other, so there are three storylines, right? And on the Mexican side, the Leyva brothers, they're the traffickers, but the main storyline on the Mexican side of things is a sergeant in the Mexican army, a special forces soldier by the name of Commandante Contreras. So this guy, he is ruthless. He has the coldest heart probably in the whole show. He basically goes rogue and becomes a Sicario with his men to ensure that the Leyva brothers reach higher heights, and they make a deal where they work for them and they get paid a nice amount for being the new muscle of the Leyva brothers. Now, Commandante Contreras is a character that reminds me a lot of Benicio del Toro's character in the classic film Sicario, the 2015 one. The second one was, I don't know what they were trying to do, but the original one, Sicario, Benicio del Toro plays a character named Alejandro Gilic. He, in basically his backstory, if you've never seen Sicario, I'm not going to reveal too much, but basically this guy, Alejandro Gilic, Benicio del Toro, has a tragic history involving his family. He turns into a Sicario, a ruthless Sicario, and in the movie he is just a fucking machine. He kills like that in an instant of a second. But he is also very calculating. Okay, he's just not a monster, a mindless monster. He's calculating. He goes after people that have done harm to him. And so yeah, those are the similarities. So I'm just wondering, in a real life situation, a character like Benicio del Toro's Sicario versus Comandante Contreras, actual military experience. You know, he's got a whole squad, his squad of fellow comrades that deserted with him. Well, they didn't desert. I believe they are still in the employ of the government at the time. And scrap that. Him and his squad that are part of his hit team working for the cartel. Both guys, Comandante Contreras and Alejandro Gillick, or actually Gillick in the movie, his street name was Medellin. So Medellin versus Commandante Contreras, who would come out on top? Both characters are ruthless, both characters have ice in their veins. They are deadly, they are well trained, they're calculating. You know, both characters are cinematic masterpieces. But if I had to make a choice, I'm gonna have to go with Commandante Contreras. Honestly, because he's got his whole squad with him. He has actual military training. Even though, don't get me wrong, Medellin took down people like nothing. Alright, he's also well trained. But I feel like in the end, the military training just tilts the outcome a little bit in the favor of Commandante Contreras. You know? So that's just, you know, I was wondering about that. Both characters are amazing. It shows the brutality. It really does show the brutality of the drug world. You know, everybody focuses on the glamorous sending tons of coke to this country and that country, and receiving your wads of cash and boxes of cash and going out to buy a Lamborghini. And that, you know, that people focus on that, but the real dirty work on the ground is done by people like these guys, Sicarios, hitmen. They're the ones that go out there, capture territory, have to execute people that haven't paid back, execute people that owe money to the cartel or to certain traffickers. They go after politicians that have not kept up their end of the bargain. They go after, you know, whoever pays them, they go after, right? And they do the dirty work. At the end of the day, their job is to kill. Their job is to make another human being disappear. Get them out of the way so that they're no longer a problem. But yeah, man, this is great stuff. ZeroZeroZero, I highly recommend it. I really appreciate that they filmed this, the Mexican scenes at least, in Mexico. I'm not completely sure, but I think they filmed a lot of the scenes in Juarez. So, and the actors that they use for the Mexican roles are authentic. They're actual Mexican people. They got the accents right. They got the mannerisms right. You know, the whole thing. You can tell these are Mexican people. So that was great. Both projects, Sicario and Zero, great stuff. The two hitmen, if they ever went head to head in real life, I mean, you know, if they existed, if they were to go head to head in real life, it would be interesting, to say the least. But yeah, this is Casquillo. I'm out.